Welcome back to another very exciting episode of Slow Ass Racing. I'm Jared. This is part 3. We're working on my wagon still. We found a bad ball joint, messing around with it, and I just did ball joints just before drag week 21, so it was warranted. But just got that pop back in. You don't want to see any of that at board. I got some more parts. I got my compressor system for the AirLift bags in the back. My hubs came in. My rotors are in. For the front, we're gonna get those put on. I've got this one torn down and already done. I just wanted to see how that was all gonna go, make sure everything fit before I show it to you guys. So this side still needs to be done, so we'll get you going on this. I'll bring you in, show you what I got, show you what we're doing, and hang out, follow along. So here we are working on changing out from a 5x100 lug pattern to the 5x4.5. Nice thing is for the front, this is a absolute complete bolt-in if you have the right parts to start with. See, we changed this car over to a 90 front K-frame with the dual pivot style lower control arms, which also gave us the 11-inch big brake package, which is the same size brakes that come on the front of the minivan. So if you did this with the bolt-in style hubs, the 4-bolt hubs, you essentially could just buy a set of the minivan hubs and the minivan front rotors and go all bolted. I thought the splines might be different for some stupid reason, but they're not. The thing went together and it's a complete bolt-in. Let's start getting this thing torn down. Here we go. That's gonna work. Head to clearance right up in here. Oh, it's still hot. That one I wanted to hit. It's right about there. The little anti-rattling spring deal wanted to hit, but a little flat disc. She's clear. Oh, that's gonna look so slick. Get it? Slicks. That takes care of the front. I just gotta torque that axle down. I still gotta put the brake rotor on. But here, this is kind of neat. So when you're doing this swap, minivan studs are about a 1/2 inch longer. So when you do the minivan hub swap to these things, that's half of you get longer studs. Like I said, we still got to do the back half. That's got something going for it too. And once they are done, we'll get those on the car too. But we got some other things going on hopefully today we get some of this air suspension stuff taken care of too. I'm gonna go wrap up the other side just because I don't want to forget anything over there. So this is the kit here. Let's bring it over here somewhere where we can kind of see stuff. It's already got a harness already done up. Your little spade terminals. You only got to make like 2 or 3 connections on this. Airline. This is what we're after right here though. This is the little compressor unit. This thing is tiny. I didn't expect this, but I guess this is all I'm gonna need, really. It's just a little deal. Stuck. Just a little deal. All in one little unit. It's got the fitting on it. There's the wires for it. A couple little mount points. And I'm kind of hoping, I don't know, make a little bracket that hangs off. I'm gonna go forward with it. I don't know. Maybe look and see how that thing's mounted in. There's a couple of bolts mount to that. Maybe we can just go right to the floor with it. I don't know. I'm gonna play around with this a little bit and see what we can do. There's the old little switch right here. That's the switch deal. It's got some plugs in it. I think we just leave that stuff unplugged. I don't think I'm gonna be able to get my power. I might be able to get power from there. I'll test that, and maybe I could just run my power off of that, and I don't have to run another line all the way up. But let me get playing with this and see what I can come up with. I got updates. The box is mounted, tucked away up in there real nice. Started running the lines. So we got it kind of wrapping around. I'm probably might have to redo that right here where it comes along next to the fuel filter. I might put that on this side just to get it out of the way. So the line comes around, follows along down to here, comes to here, and I got this fitting right here, which is for, so this is gonna go back down into this first bag right there, and then this is gonna come off and then loop back over to the other side. So I got a trailing arm suspension, so it moves up and down, so I can't just run the hose from here down, and my fittings go up into the bags here. So I think this is gonna work. I just have to figure out how to shoot this thing into the car because I need an air hose in the car, and that's where the release is on the gauge. It's just like a little vent thing button. You push and it goes psss, and it releases it. So I'm gonna work on getting over to there, to that side, rigged up, and see what we got. All right, guys, I got that plumbing all done. We're gonna come into the car now, start working on this harness. I'm gonna feed that big wire up through the dash down, and then out the whole back of the car up underneath to that compressor. And then it needs a ground, and it needs battery power, and the gauge. A little tech tip for you guys. If you gotta pass something through a firewall, and you know there's a bunch of stuff back behind there, I've got a hole already back behind there. that I feed everything through. That's where the original wiring harness went there. I've got it kind of taped off or whatever. But I got to get those wiring harness and one of the tubes out of the car to go down underneath. I'm going to poke something through your firewall to be able to pull it through. Grab your antenna. You shove that through. You come over here. There's your antenna. You tape up your end, and that little ball a lot of times will help. I've grabbed a couple of them over time, and some of them I've actually ground down a point to it so you can shove it through a little rubber deal or whatever. But once you do that, then you just gently pull. And there's your wires. Decided to mount that gauge right there. It's kind of out of the way. I can still open my glove box. Got the plumbing done. This right here is a little low pressure switch, so if it gets low, it'll kick it on. I wish it was up, but whatever. I got all the wiring tucked back behind here. This is the lead for positive, so I might just go right. I've got a lead right there. That's battery. Might just go just snip that in right there. It's got its own little fuse. So back on the ground, wheels on it, we're off the lift. Let's try it out. So it's probably going to wind up kicking on as soon as I hit the key on, because I had to switch it. I put it to that side. Oh, okay, fat guy trying to get in the car. Ugh. I put it to the side of the power inverter, which is straight battery power. Turns out there's a light on the gauge. Don't want that to stay on, so I found an ignition source to go to. But let's see what happens. So I went to the 10 pounds. I think you're not supposed to go over like 100. So that's 60 pounds. Let's go see if it looks like it's up in the air at all. Oh yeah, seems to be pretty solid. That seems to be pretty dang solid. Oh yeah, way up in the air. That's what we're looking for. Let's see what happens when we pull the air out of it. So that is, what do we got, 60 pounds in there? So 10 is like the minimum. So if it goes below 10, it'll bump it back up. Now let's see if it looks like it's down a little bit compared to last time. Oh yeah. Thanks for tuning in, guys. We got those wheels fitted up. I am fired up on the way they look. I'm so happy about it. The air suspension's in and working. The next time you see this thing, hopefully we have the back wheels to put on. We'll get the shocks in. I'd like to get some tires on this thing so we can actually get it on the ground and see how it looks. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Tell your friends. Drop a comment on the bottom. I'm Jared. This is Slow Ass Racing. Thank you.